What's up, people? How are we doing today? This is Mark, the iCloud helper, coming to you from Cardiff City. Excellent content, folks, for today. So in this video, I'm going to show you a full removal, a full unlock on an EFI BIOS firmware encryption on any T2 MacBook, which is either a 2018, 2019, 2020 MacBook that has the T2 chipset. What this does is basically permanently removes the BIOS encryption, also known as the EFI firmware lock, okay? So I'm going to show you, there's two different downloads for this service. One is the data erase, to basically totally wipe the Mac and start from fresh. The other is the data save, which means you would just remove the firmware lock and the data and everything would still be on the Mac. Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to basically permanently unlock the firmware lock using the CHECKM8 software. And like I said, this is not a bypass service. This is a full unlock. It'll get rid of it obsolete. It'll be gone forever, like it was never there to begin with, okay? So the first thing you want to do if you have this is basically go on to, make sure you've obviously got a host computer as well, because it does require to have two MacBooks, okay? So first thing you want to do, open up your browser, go on to type in this CHECKM8.info. There it is. Open up the link and here's the website. So you want to scroll down, okay, until you find it. Second one over, can't miss it, right in the middle. And so you could see there, you've got download EFI data save, and then you've got download EFI data erase. So I'll just click discover software for now. Obviously read a little bit about it first. But in this video, I'm going to be using the data erase to permanently erase everything off it. So in my case, I'm going to select download data erase. In your case, if you've got an EFI firmware lock and you've forgotten the password to it and you still want the saved data on your device, then you would use the saved data. But in my case, I'm using the erase data because I don't want whatever else is on there beyond the encryption, so to speak. So let's click that. Let's do the download. That was quick. Okay, so let's close this, open up Launchpad, and there he is, Mac EFI data erased. That's the one we want, folks. So there we go. So what I'll do now is connect. Remember to connect your target Mac to your locked Mac using a USB-C to USB-C cable, okay? And always remember to put the cable in the second port down, the one underneath. could see it there. There. Yeah, second one down. On both Macs. Put it in on both Macs, second one down. Okay. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to put the locked Mac in a DFU state, okay? So to put it in a DFU state, what we're going to use is Control, Option, Power, Right Shift. All 4 keys at exactly the same time. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If it fails the first time, then just do it again. Clearly it's looking like it has failed the first time for me. So I'll let go and simply hold the 4 keys down again. Remember, Control, Option, Power, Right Shift. There we go. And as you can see on the host Mac, order EFI unlock. That's what we want. And it's confirming your device is supported. And like I said, as long as your device has a T2 chipset, it will be supported, people. It certainly will. As you can see at the top, is presented with the hardware number there. So by here, you simply put your name in. By here, put in your email address. And by here, put in my promo code and get yourself a discount off. My promo code is iCloud Helper 029. It's iCloud Helper 029. And simply apply the promo code. So now the next thing you want to do, once you've done that, is simply select Buy Now. You'll be presented with an order form. And then once that's done, then you do this. Okay, people. So a short recap then. As you can see, I've used the data erased service. So once you go through the checkout, once you click Start, which I'm about to do, it will permanently delete everything that's on the locked Mac and basically remove the EFI BIOS encryption as well. Now, let's say, for example, okay, let's say, for example, you use the data saved, right? So if you use the data saved service, when you press Start and it removes the EFI BIOS encryption, everything else will still be on the Mac, okay? So I need to point that out because there may be a few people that will want to use the data saved rather than the data erased. In my case, I don't need to use the data saved, hence the reason I'm using the data erased. Now with the data erased, once I press Start, I'm going to press Power, I'm going to use Command Option and R to head over into the macOS recovery, okay? So these are the main things I need to point out. And also as well, please be sure to note this, that if you have an EFI firmware lock on your T2 MacBook, it is possible that once the firmware lock is removed, there could be either A, an iCloud activation lock, B, a remote management lock, or C, both. So be sure to check first by running the serial number to see if Find My Mac is turned off, and also do a check of the MDM to see if the MDM lock is on or off it. If you do have an EFI firmware lock with a remote management as well, and or an iCloud lock, I will put all those videos, okay, all that content in the link below this video here, okay? So that once you've basically done the EFI lock and you've got rid of that, if you've got an iCloud lock, I got the premium bypass service for you here. I've also got the I've got the full unlock for the remote management for T2 Macs. And I've also got the bypass for MDM remote management for the T2 Macs. It'll all be in the content below. So without further ado, let's click start and proceed. So here we go. Are you sure you want to remove EFI from your device? This will permanently delete all device settings and data. Warning, if your device is iCloud locked, it will ask for Apple ID after EFI password remove. Hence my current conversation. So in this case, I've checked. There is no iCloud activation lock, so I'm good to go. So yes. So downloading additional files, percentage will go up. And once it's done, I'll power the Mac on and head over into the macOS recovery. I do believe that this target Mac, the EFI firmware locked Mac, does have an MDM as well. But if it does, I'll deal with that. So all the content is going to be, so the content for MDM bypass and MDM removal for T2. Unfortunately, MDM removal isn't out yet for Silicon Macs. So the M series, M1 to M4, not available. But the premium bypass service is available, okay, for remote management. For iCloud, it's only available for the T2 and it's a bypass, but it's a really good untethered bypass, as you folks will see for yourself. You know, it's not about being stuck with encrypted devices anymore, people. You know, it's about if you have an encrypted device to, you know, remove that lock and set your device free. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so removing EFI passcode, don't disconnect your device. I don't plan to. And obviously, if you're using the data saved one, it'll be a different process. It'll just remove the firmware lock, but it won't delete any settings or data on it, so to speak. And it's really good. You know, it's a permanent removal, and it's for Macs with T2 chipsets as well. Yeah, there's nothing irritating than having an encryption, you know. So whether it's a EFI firmware lock, remote management lock, iCloud lock, if it's T2, we got you. Even for Silicon, but only for Silicon remote management / MDM encryptions. Bypass, full premium, we got you. As you can see, the Mac's booted up there. So let's keep it there for a second. As you can see, it's still progressing. A12 Plus service, right? Yes, I know you folks are waiting on it. At the moment, nothing as yet. There is a bit of good news, as earlier today, the as you know, iOS 18.3 came out, which means that for the T2 Macs, BridgeOS 9.3 came out, which means now macOS SEQUOIA 15.3 is now out. And I can confirm that it does work on an iCloud activation lock. The bypass service does indeed work. So you're good on them. And once again, content will be in the link below the video. It's taking a little bit longer than usual, but main thing is, you know, as long as it gets done, then that's the key, people. That's the key. Be sure to use my promo code. That is iCloud Helper 029. Works on all CHECKM8 services. So any CHECKM8 service you want to use, be sure to use my promo code. You get yourself a discount. I know it's not much, but what do they say? Every little helps, right? You got it, amigos. Every little helps. for those of you who saw my last video, CHECKM8 are compatible with quite a few of the older devices. So the iPhone from the 5S to the X, and the older iPads up to the A10 chipsets. But currently on the A12 Plus, nothing at the moment. But stay tuned, because something's going to come soon. And when it does, will it be on my channel? Oh, it will. No question about it. Absolutely. Most of you, the people, my subscribers, my followers, you know this anyway. Absolutely it will. No question of a doubt. If I have to forward this process, I will. You'll soon know if I fast forward it, because I'll get bored of talking. Okay, people, I had to stop it there. It was taking way too long. But here's the good news. Your EFI password has been successfully removed. Your Mac should be on black screen now. Please power on your Mac device by pressing and holding the power button for 1 second. Now please install macOS using recovery mode, Command plus R, or internet recovery mode, Command plus Option plus R, which is the next step, what I'm going to do now. Okay. Took like 10 minutes to do, but the bottom line is successfully removed. So your Mac, your T2 Mac is now free of any EFI encryption, which is the goal, the ultimate goal, might I add. Okay, so at this stage, I'm going to power it on and I'm going to press Command, Option and R to enter into the macOS recovery, okay, people? So power, Command, Option, R. Press these 3 keys. And there we go, internet recovery. So at this stage, when you get to internet recovery, connect to your Wi-Fi, go through internet recovery until you get to the macOS recovery. Okay, people, so we're finally at the macOS recovery. And at this stage, what you want to do is click on Disk Utility, continue. And you want to select View, Show All Devices. And this one here, top left. Select Erase. Should say this, Untitled. Format should be APFS and the scheme should be GUID partition map. Simply go ahead and select Erase. Under the name, Untitled, you can change that if you want. Yours may show a different name. But it's important to erase the main SSD in the disk utility. Excellent, so that's done. Now we can go ahead and close the disk utility and then simply select this, reinstall macOS. In my case it's SEQUOIA, but if you've used Command and R and it goes to the default macOS, it'll either be High Sierra, Mojave or Catalina, okay? So at this stage you select your macOS, select continue. Make sure your Mac is on charge for the duration of the installation. Continue. Sometimes it can act a bit glitchy by you, but don't panic. It only usually lasts for about a minute or two. Sometimes it can last for like 10 seconds, but here we go. Simply agree to the terms and double check on the agree. So now it'll show the current SSD, select it and select continue. Okay, so now it's doing the installation of the Mac OS. Once the installation is completed, you simply go through the setup, connect to your Wi-Fi, and you've got yourself a MacBook that is clear from the EFI BIOS encryption. Now, like I said earlier in the video, if you do have an iCloud activation lock or a remote management lock, as well as the firmware lock, be sure to check out the videos in the link below this video. They'll all be there for MDM. There'll be bypass and full removal for the T2. Of course, the iCloud bypass as well for the T2 MacBooks. Hope this content has helped you folks. Be sure to smash a like, share, and most importantly as well, subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of content on this channel, as you'll see for yourselves, and there's plenty more content to come. Thank you. This is Mark, the iCloud helper, coming to you from Cardiff City. Bye for now, my friends. Bye for now.